There was a time when cars didn't have seatbelts. There was even a time when car makers hesitated to equip their cars with seatbelts, although they could. The reason was that they feared bad publicity. After all, equipping your car with seatbelts in a way gives the impression that the cars were kind of unsafe, so that there was actually a need for the seatbelts, which could, as they reasoned back then, scare customers and keep them from buying. And so they decided to not tell the whole story about their cars, but rather hide the fact that cars do, as a matter of fact, crash sometimes. And they hope that no one notices it. Today, we have way safer cars because people who cared surfaced the whole story. In its book Unsafe at Any Speed, Ralph Nader pointed out how unsafe cars actually are, and that equipping a car with seatbelts is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of taking responsibility for the fact that cars do crash, and protecting the customers and providing them with the safest possible experience. That book opened the floodgates so that today we have actually legislation that not only requires cars to be equipped with seatbelts, but to actually use them. So obviously the best way to deal with the truth was not to hide the problem, but to face it, deal with it, and improve the product based on what you see. A good question to ask always is this: if your customers knew everything that you know, would they still buy? Many companies don't trust that their customers really would, and so they bend the truth and maybe even hide parts of it. But some companies act very differently. They use this exact same question as a motivation to improve the product. And not only will these companies end up with superior products, marketing for them will be way easier because all they need to do is tell a true story. Ultimately, what it leads to is customers who can and do trust you. Keep lighting the path.